All right, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. This lesson is going to be entitled Use Balance When Dealing with Herbs. Okay? Use balance when dealing with herbs. And I mean, that's a tentative title. It's just going to go right to it. This is dealing with a conversation that I was having with an individual on the comment board. All right, this is a video that was done yesterday. It was entitled A Response. We're not here to make you feel good, but to tell you the truth. Okay? And from the comment board, there was an individual that had a question. So let's go to it and just deal with it right away. All right, this individual named Wes Davis. He says, Shalom, is there a law on herbs you can eat and herbs that you cannot eat? Now listen, he asked the question. Then he answers his own question. He says, we see a dietary law for meats, but not for herbs and plants, etc. Genesis 9:3. And you just answered your own question, Wes. You said, is there a law? Then you said there wasn't a law. You see? Let's just go ahead. He mentioned Genesis 9:3. Now, what struck me as odd is I asked him, I started to respond and answer the question a certain way, but then I said, let me just see. You know, because I already had an idea in my mind where Jake was coming from. And generally, when an individual asks you, is there a law dealing with herbs, the main herb that's in their mind is they think about marijuana. Okay? Now, he never said that. He never admitted it, but I'm pretty sure that's probably what he was alluding to. Or it could be magic mushrooms. You got a lot of Israelites that come at you sideways. So I just simply replied back. I said, it's like what herb? Then, by the way he came at me, I knew, you know, his good intentions. His intentions weren't really that pure. He immediately went to Matthew 5:37. But let your communication be yeah, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. And he continued to press Romans 4:15. Because the law worketh wrath. For where no law is, there is no transgression. Now, you will not find a law that says thou shalt not partake of marijuana, thou shalt not partake of magic mushrooms, or whatever. You know, the laws are not written that way, and I'm gonna go on to say that. So he asked this question about a dietary law for herbs and plants, right? Now he put up Genesis 9:3. I think that's what he said. It was in Genesis 9:3. Let's go back. I'm just gonna, deal with this quickly here. He said Genesis 9:3 is a reference scripture that he put up. So let's go and read that, because the same way that, see, Jake don't search nothing out. You read one scripture and you think that's it, you got it. Now obviously you asked because you thought I knew, but you can't ask being a smart ass, okay? Because you're gonna get that same type of response back. Now Genesis 9:3 that he put up, he says, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. You hear that? So is the Most High saying right here that every moving thing that liveth shall be meat? Because we can't eat everything. He gave us a clear, clean and unclean. Did he not? He said put a difference between the clean and the unclean. Just like with the herbs, you got to do the same thing. Just because something you can put it in your mouth doesn't mean that you should eat it. Anyway, I just wanted to reference that. Let's go quickly first before we go any further. Whenever you deal with the scriptures, you must always use balance. This is Proverbs 11 verse 1. It says a false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Now it says it's because it was dealing with measures of money, but you always have to apply balance when you deal, with the scriptures. The Most High expects for us to deal with balance, no one-sidedness. You got to have balance. Proverbs 20:23. Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good. Again, usually dealing with measures of money or measurements, but you have to apply it also to your regular life, because the Most High set up good and evil, right? Light and dark, sweet and sour or bitter. You see, wet and dry, hot and cold, all these things, that is balance with the Lord. And it's the same way when you deal with herbs, you deal with meat or anything else. Now let's go back to the thing here, to the comment. So when he asked me the question, and I said like, what herb? So get back into it. Now, Jake asked me a question on the comment board. Let's start over. Shalom, is there a law on herbs you can eat and herbs that you cannot eat? We see a dietary law for meats, but not for herbs and plants, etc. Genesis 9:3. And we read that. And I said, like what herb? He comes right back like a jerk with Matthew 5:37, which we read, in Romans 4:15, like we read. You know, and I just, at that point, I'm just like, you know what? See, this is the thing with you Israelites. A lot of you are new. Don't come on the comment board acting like you know something, because if you knew something, you wouldn't be asking us the questions. Don't act like you on this level, you know, throwing scriptures around like you all that. All right, because that immediately set me off. But you know, I just said, you know, well, let me just see where this guy coming from. I said, you already answered your own question. You said there wasn't a law pertaining to herbs, then asked me, was there one? You people need to grow up. If you want to eat marijuana, just do it. Now, you know, that's basically, you know, I'm pretty sure that's what Jake was alluding to. You know, at the end of the day, if you want to eat whatever you want to do, smoke, eat, drink, whatever it is, go ahead and do it. You don't need, I'm not going to give you an approval. You got to use balance and practicality when you deal with the scriptures. If you're going to behave like a beast or a remedial student, that's what we're going to treat you like. That's what I'm going to treat you like. So I just went and just came out with it, because all that little asking 1,000 questions just to get one answer, that shit is old. You wanted to find out about weed, you should have asked. Because I doubt very seriously if Jake was going through the woods or out there in the field behind the house, and he all of a sudden discovered some type of new onions that nobody's seen, and he wondered if he could eat them. Okay? Or new ears of corn, or some different type of potatoes that nobody's seen. He's asking because he want to fucking use weed, man. And Salakia, you know, you get a little heated. Or it could be some other hallucinogen that Jake want to eat. He's building his case to try to tell you what the Lord said, asking you to soothe his conscience. And this shit is played out. Now, I told the guy, I said, if you want to eat marijuana, just do it. You don't need to ask me anything. I don't owe you a response according to your lusts. I mean, damn, man, do you need a law to tell you not to eat poison ivy, poison oak? Poisons can be made from herbs. Botulinum toxin can be made from castor beans, and cyanide from others. Do you need a law to tell you not to eat those? Figure it out. 2 Timothy 2:15, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And I'm going to say this, you know, everything is not written down to the very finest detail the way you Jakes wanted to be written. Okay? Yeah, the Most High said he gave us herbs, but obviously you're not going to use every green thing on the planet for food. Would you? You ain't gonna go up to a tree and just take the leaves and start eating a mouthful of them. You don't go out there and get a handful of grass and make grass soup. I mean, you got to think, Jake. Think. Now, when you go to Genesis, there's a few scriptures that you can read. Genesis 1:11, and the Most High said, or empowered said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And so it was, right? Verse 12, and the earth brought forth grass, and the herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and the power saw that it was good. Okay? Verse 29, which we did, I don't know if we read it. No, we didn't read this. And power said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, and the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. Does this mean that just because it grows out of the ground, it's natural, that you should put it in your mouth and make your teeth go up and down upon one another till you grind the thing and you swallow it down your mouth, down your throat hole, like they say on on Little Nicky? No, you got to use balance. There are some herbs that you can eat. Some are for medicine, others are for other things, right? Other uses. You can't just read a scripture and just jump in with 2 feet. Because like I said, you don't need a law to tell you not to eat poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, right? And I'm not 100% sure. You can look it up. I'm not going to bother to do it. But I don't know if cyanide is made from actual plants. But I know that there's other toxins and nerve agents and chemical agents. Mustard gas, you can make that from mustard plants, right? If I'm not mistaken. Castor beans, you can use, if you use it right, you can make a powerful poison out of it. Okay? Botulinum toxin, I believe, is what it's called, from castor beans, right? But you can also use castor beans for castor oil, which is is for other uses. Just like you got a chocolate plant or a cocoa, not chocolate plant, a cocoa plant, I believe, a cacao. I forget how it is, but you can get cocaine out of that, but you can also use the same plant for chocolate. So you just got to have common sense, man. I mean, it really ain't even common sense. You know, the Most High got to give you that sense. Now, verse 30 says, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. And even with that, every animal don't eat, are not foraging animals. Cows, donkeys, zebras. You know, you got some animals that eat grass, that eat things, but other animals eat meat, right? Other animals are predators. So you got balance everywhere you look, and you have to be the same way. You can't take everything so damn literal. But see, Jake started doing that when either you're trying to be deep or you're trying to be deceptive, right? Jake loved to do that. You try to be deceptive, but all you really doing is making a fool out of your own self. Now, I answered back in another comment, because I block, you know, when Jake do that, when you get puffed up, then I'm like, you know what, I ain't talking to you no more. I just block your ass, because I don't want you coming on my channel trying to raise up static over something so small. And plus, you never really came out with what it is that you wanted to eat. I asked you politely, like what herb, and you came back at me, let your yay be yay, your nay be nay, you know, like you doing something. So I just answered back again. I said, there's no law for every little thing down to the smallest minute detail, but understanding is there through others. James 4:17, therefore to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. There are certain things that are not just written. You ain't gonna find a law that says thou shalt not take the cocoa plant and make cocaine out of it, right? But you know that cocaine comes from a natural, from something natural. But what do? They add other chemicals to it, and it makes you hallucinate. So therefore, what? You're not to use it in that way. You can use cocoa. You can have cocoa. You can drink hot cocoa. You can have hot chocolate. You can have a chocolate bar. But if that same plant is used to make cocaine from it, you can't have it, man. You're not supposed to use it for that. And we're going to get a scripture on that. Now, so I went ahead and put up Genesis 1:29, and I said, and power said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. This does not mean every green thing you can eat it. You don't eat cactuses. Just like the Most High gave you aloe plants, right? Aloe plants are good for some uses, but you ain't gonna eat it. You know. Now that may be a way you can. Now I take that back, because you know what? There was a juice that Walmart used to have. It was called aloe vera juice, I believe, and it had all these other different kind of plants in it. And shit tasted like hell, but I'm sure it was good for you. But you're not gonna take everything and drink. You ain't gonna drink corn. You're gonna get corn juice. You see some corn, take the corn stalk, or take some cucumbers and grind them up real good until you juice a cucumber, and then mix it with something else and then drink it. No, man. But if you take that same cucumber and you pickle it, right? Then you drink pickle juice, that's good for dehydration. It's just different things that you can use, but those are all things. Now, again, there ain't no dietary law that says these plants shall you eat, these plants shall you not eat. But the Most High gave us knowledge in other ways to know not to mess with these things, man. There's an old saying, and I keep seeing this commercial on TV, that when it comes to plants, right? I think it said leaves of 3, let them be. You know, people that are horticulturists or botanists that identify plants and flowers, they can tell you what things, you know, if Most High give you that knowledge, you can know what things that you can eat, which ones are poison. Just like all berries. You can't eat all berries. Certain berries, the trees that grow berries, you eat them shits, you will die. Certain fruit, if you eat it is not a good thing. It's not a good reaction. There's certain fruits and berries and flowers that are not for human consumption as far as eating them for food, but you might be able to do something else with it. All this comes from just Jake not being honest about what you want to know. Anyway, Genesis 1:29, and the Most High said, or in power said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And then I put up 1 Corinthians 10:23. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Even if you can eat something, just because you can doesn't mean that you should. It may not be expedient for the time that you're in. Just like with marijuana. The marijuana thing keep coming up with Jake. And I'm gonna tell you people the best way I can tell you. If you got such strong convictions about using marijuana, I ain't never gonna tell nobody not to use it. You go ahead and use it. And at the end of the day, it's between you and the Most High. If you got no issue with using it for oil or hemp or whatever you want to do, put it in a brownie, put it whatever you want to do, right? Turn it into an oil, rub it on your face, put it on your nostrils. I don't give a damn. It's on you. It is on you. Okay? Some stuff you got to decide on your own. You can't come to us. Now, when it comes to things like, or let me say this. All things have their uses. See? And you can take something good and you can turn it into evil. This is Ecclesiastes 39 and verse 24. It says, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. The Most High's ways are plain to those that he's dealing with. To everybody else, they're stumbling blocks because your ass wicked. Now it goes on. It says, for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life. Now let me go back to that. It says, for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, which is wine, or grape juice, and oil and clothing. Listen, all these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. For example, blood of the grape, wine, right? Real wine, okay? Brothers and sisters that drink wine, okay, it's good to the godly. But a wicked nigga would take it and become a drunkard. He will drink wine, he will become a drunkard, he's a brawler, he's a nag, he's a deadbeat, right? Something is like baking soda. Sure, baking soda's got its good uses, but damn if a nigga from the hood won't take baking soda, and combine it with other chemicals and come up with crack, right? Cook 'em ups. I got baking soda. So everything has their uses. Jacob asked you, is incense and sage anything wrong with burning it? Because I heard it was witchcraft. Well, if you burn sage and incense in honor of another god, then it's wicked. But if you burn in honor of the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, then it's not wicked. It just depends on how you use it. Same thing with herbs. Same thing with flowers. Same thing with meat. Same thing with anything that you use. You got to use balance, Jake. Grow the hell up. Learn practicality. This is Ecclesiastes 38 and verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which you may have of him, for the Lord hath created him. Back then, they called him a physician. Even now, physician is still known as a medical doctor, right? But really, doctor means to falsify, right? If you look it up, you want to doctor up some shit, that means you faking it. You falsifying a document. You want to doctor it. See? But when you're a physician, you deal with healing. For the Most High cometh of the Most High, Salakia, cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. Here's the point. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So there are herbs that you can use for medicine. That's the same thing Esau do. A lot of the medicines that you take, and I don't know exactly which ones, but if you take a Tylenol or a certain antibiotic, right, garlic or whatever, or antibiotic that you may take for a particular illness, more than likely in that antibiotic you have natural elements. Esau just go overboard and add other poisons and chemicals to the shit. But let's read that again. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So there are herbs that you use for medicine. There are herbs that are used for food, but not everything is used for one purpose. And then you have those that have dual purposes, because garlic is used in food as flavor, to give food flavor. But garlic also eaten in a raw form, eating cloves of garlic, right? Or taking garlic tablets or garlic gel tabs or whatever you take. Garlic is a powerful antibiotic, okay? And I'm sure it's got many other uses. The Most High created things like bananas and, celery, all these different things that come out of the earth. They can be used for medicine, but they also used for food. Some have dual purposes. Some have multi-purposes. If you want to know about that kind of stuff, you just got to take a course and learn about it. But the Most High didn't give us all of that. Like with King Solomon knew what plant was for what, you know, what things you can eat, what things you can't eat. And we know some of that stuff. Like I said, you ain't gonna eat poison ivy. You ain't eat poison sumac and poison oak, right? There's other poisonous plants and flowers and trees that you ain't gonna take a rose bush and try to grind up roses and drink that. Like I said, man, Jake is just doing that because you up to something, man. The Lord have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? And he hath given men skill, that he might be honored in his marvelous works. See, with such doeth he heal men and taketh away their pains. And you know, the Most High would give a particular spirit to an individual that he intends to be a physician. And that's just all it is to it, man. I'm going to read Romans 14:1 here. It says, he that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. Now, another thing that's continuously coming up among you Israelites, you are saying that if you're a vegan, do you have to eat lamb on the Passover? The answer is yes. See, this whole vegan lifestyle, you know, you've been told by some wacky ass Israelite that the Most High never intended for the Israelites to eat meat. But it's in the scriptures that you can eat meat, that the Most High gave us meat to eat. You know, just stop trying to play with the scriptures, man, and just be honest. Be honest individuals. This is Leviticus 11:2, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. The Most High didn't intend for the Israelites to eat meat. He would have never put that there. And you can't use the example of Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego eating fruit and vegetables instead of the king's rich meat, or instead of the king's rich food, or whatever it's called. You know, now at that time they did that. If you want to go on a fruit and vegetable fast, no problem. If you want to just eat vegetables and fruits, no problem. But don't walk around the earth like an overrighteous asshole telling people that the Most High wanted that to be the lifestyle for the Israelites, because you've seen somewhere on the Food Network or the Pulse Network, whatever it is, or the old channel, you know, that this is a healthier lifestyle. You get that shit from these free thinkers, you know, or these people that don't want to hurt animals and all this type of dumb shit. If you want to do something, you do it. Don't force it on everybody else. Clearly, Israelites can eat meat. Not that you should, because even we've been considering at the house not to eat certain meat, right? That is lawful. We said we might not eat beef as much. We'll do more chicken, fish, lamb, you know, like that. And even ox, because beef is harder to break down. It's harder for your system to break it down. We eat turkey. I'm noticing that eating turkey burgers is better than eating a beef burger, because beef stay in your system too long. It takes too long for it to break down. But turkey, when you eat a turkey burger, the next morning, if you eat turkey burger tonight, the next morning, you're going to have a surprise waiting for you. I just say it like that. It's very easy on your system. Lamb is very easy on your digestive system. Okay? So again, Leviticus 11:2, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Deuteronomy 14:4, these are the beasts which ye shall eat. And then it names them. So you can eat meat. And on the Passover, you are required to eat meat. Yeah, you are. You don't like it, then you don't want to follow what the Most High said follow. It's on you. Now, Romans 14:2, for one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. And that's okay if you want to do that. It's not a doctrine. It's not a thing to push on people. If a person want to eat some meat and some herbs and fruit and vegetables, as long as it's lawful, no problem. How you gonna find out, brother, if it's lawful? You got to look it up. Apply what's written in the scriptures and look it up. Now, you ain't gonna find in the scripture where it says thou shalt not eat a wild mushroom, but you gotta apply wisdom, man. Okay? It's not unlawful to eat mushrooms of a certain sort, but some brothers don't eat mushrooms because they, you know, have been associated with fungus. And that's all right that they don't do it. But if brothers do eat mushrooms, don't look at them sideways, man. Same thing with asparagus or cabbage or any other thing. If you don't like it, fine. You don't like turnip greens, don't eat them. You don't like red cabbage, you rather have the green cabbage or the purple cabbage, okay, fine. Right? You don't want to eat the regular white potatoes, you only like red potatoes, you don't want the Yukon Golds, you rather have the white potatoes from Idaho, okay, eat them. But don't make it into a doctrine, man. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not, and let not him which eateth, and let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth. For the Most High hath received him. And that didn't sound like I read it right. Let me read it again. Romans 14:3. Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not, and let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth. Right. If you don't like something and I like it, no problem. If you like something and I don't like it, no problem. The main thing is that the Most High said you can eat that and it's lawful. For the Most High hath received him. Okay? And you can go on in that manner and read the rest of that if you want to read it. That's pretty much good enough. I mean, hey, we ain't got to go through a whole lot more dealing with this. When you Jakes ask these questions on the comment board, I always say, when you ask the first question, ask exactly what you want to know. It would have been better if you had said, is it lawful for us to eat marijuana or magic mushrooms if we want to do that? Don't come at me like this. Then I got to go like, what you talk about? Oh, did you got to try that like you cut me? Or you trying to get all hard? Because all that do is just whine. Now you blocked. And if you want to ask another question, you can't ask it. You see? Because I don't like that. I don't deal with that little subtle weirdo shit. Just ask what you want to know the first time, man. And that's all it is to it. At the end of the day, I ain't saying this dude wicked or nothing. I just don't like to deal with all that pretentious bullshit, man. Just come straight. If you want to know something, just come straight and ask it. Otherwise, I'm going to start sniffing around, and be like, you know what? This person's full of shit. And I don't got time for it, man. So anyway, use balance when dealing with herbs, okay? You don't need a law to tell you don't eat poison oak, right? Don't eat a damn, you know what I mean? Don't eat a thorn bush. Just because it's green and it's growing, you don't eat a rose bush. Give it up, Jake. All praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Shalom.